Hi, my name is Therese Lindberg. I'm sitting here with Berit Reaver, and we're going to make a little movie about AuraTransformation. And we wanted to tell you a little bit about how we found it and why we're working with it and what it has meant to us.
Yeah, and AuraTransformation, for my part, it's my whole world. And it doesn't really matter if I'm going to the shop, if I'm driving my car, if I'm working with energies. It's all about the consciousness and the energy in it. So just to underline it. So it's the viewpoint, it's the way that I am in the world. So you could say it means everything to me, and I think it should mean everything to everybody. But of course, you know, from whatever viewpoint you are viewing, it means more or less. It's everywhere, and you can use it in every way. I will talk a little bit about how I got into it, but I think it's a very, very important thing. And this is not only AuraTransformation; it's actually consciousness. It's how to use energies and how to use energies in the new time, which is very different from the previous time and generations.
And also how you view your life depending on what consciousness level you're in, and how the things that happen to you in your life affects you, and how you let it affect you is all about what level you're in and how much balance you've got in your life.
So when talking with AuraTransformation, when you get all your energy back to yourself, which meant again the world to me, because when that happened to me, I got so much more happy, and I really started to enjoy being in life and being on Earth. But when getting all your energy back, then you can get very, very different reactions from the surroundings.
Yes. And definitely. I had a very funny experience. I've been going to different classes, learning esoteric teachings and meditating, and I had one woman whom I usually. She wasn't like a mentor, but almost, and she actually told me a few of the things that I was going to work with about my Dharma. And when I actually found AuraTransformation, it was all due to, I have two children, two boys. One was born in 2004 and one was born in 2005. And the youngest one they wanted to class him autistic. And I wasn't really arguing with them, because there were a few things about him that was very different. But I thought that if I'm going to search to find a solution, or just to make his life better, I have to go all the way, everywhere. So when I found out about indigo children and crystal children, I was like, oh my God, this is really important. I didn't know why it was important. I just knew that this was very important for me. And then, of course, I had my AuraTransformation. But before I had it, I told this woman about AuraTransformation. And her reaction was, oh no, you don't have to do that. You don't need that. If you need to know anything, you can just ask me. And I was like, thank you. Great. Now I know I don't have to come here anymore. Now I know I'm finished here. I can move on to the next step. And I was really grateful for everything that she had taught me and so on. But
so this is moving to a different level.
Yeah.
And this also talks a little bit about how energy functions and how energy functions in the new time, and how you could say who are using the energy. And
who's using your energy. And,
exactly.
And where is your energy going? Because we have a lot of...
it's like having a whole field, a football field full of energy that is yours. Yeah. And maybe you're not aware of it.
Or where it is.
Yes.
Maybe it's not on your football field.
Exactly. Maybe it's supporting something else. And of course, when you draw that back, when you get that back, somebody who is using the energy and suddenly missing it is gonna get
a reaction.
A reaction.
Yeah. There is actually a lot of very spiritual people on Earth who don't think that they're very big themselves. They're very modest, and I'm not saying it's bad to be modest. It's really good to be modest and humble, but they think that they're very small. So they go to people whom they look up to really a lot. It's like their guru or something. And all their energy and their consciousness and all what they really should keep to themselves go to this person. And I think a lot of this is due to people not knowing.
Yeah, but it's also due to the previous times,
yes.
Because previously we didn't have the capacity in the body to carry or hold all our own energy and actually be aware of it and use it ourselves. So it is due to previous times, but now we are in a new time where we can hold our own, all our own energy.
Due to the new aura structure, which is very magnetic. But this is of course not wrong. This is something that happens, so we should become more aware. Yeah. It's just interesting that every day I meet a lot of people who really don't consider themselves very big, but really they are remarkable people, and everyone should have their own
energy.
And they should have their own power in their life. They shouldn't give their own power away to someone else.
And their potential. And if you think about it, you have so much energy, and you know, maybe it is other places and supporting other things. I mean, don't you want to decide yourself what you like to support? I mean, it's like having a bunch of money and you can support different courses. You know, it's nice to actually decide, okay, I'm going to support this course because I like that, and I'm going to support that. And if you talk about energy, it's kind of not the same thing, but it is the same thing, because your energy can actually be supporting something that you don't really like. So I think it's very important in the time that we are in now to be aware about what you're supporting, and definitely be the captain on your own ship.
Yeah. And you should know that everything that you're actually sending thoughts or energy, or even if it's hatred you're sending energy to something else. So this thing about moving on and maybe not carrying grouches or stuff, it's really important, because if someone has done anything to you, hurt you or whatever, you don't really want to send your energy to that person. But maybe you are if you're not aware of what's going on. So
so the thing about this energy is quite important, and when people get AuraTransformation, they often get funny reactions from the surroundings. Now it can both be because you have some energies, you know, with another person that you have withdrawn, and then the person is like, you know, hello, give it back to me, and it's not theirs. But it can also be, you know, if you're thinking about how energy has been spread out from previously, then then there can be other, you could say, forces working through different people to actually try and get you to do specific things. So the more, again, you are in control of your own energy, the less this will happen. But then this can also help you understand that sometimes when you meet a reaction from your surroundings or another person, it might not be that person, or it might not be personal, but there might be something else behind.
And often it's not something people have planned. This is subconscious actions. They don't know why they do it. But I also think it's very important to say that a lot of spiritual books about the new time energy are actually written by people from the old time, the old world. The Indigo Children, that was actually, I know this is here you could say there are two ways of describing this, but children weren't being born with the indigo aura until 95. But before that, there's been a lot of people who have had indigo energy, maybe. But the indigo aura first came in 95. So after that, actually the law of attraction and everything else started working in a whole totally different way. But a lot of the books about the new time energy, they are just channeled information by people who actually they're in the old system still.
It's channeled through the third dimension. So that's a different viewpoint than if you are in the fourth or the fifth dimension and you write something. So of course you're reaching out for the same kind of information, but compared to what you can understand and comprehend, it will be
different. It will be different. This is like if you're channeling a message from a very high source, and your own consciousness isn't there, then you're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna understand it through your own consciousness. So I would really like to recommend any of you who are interested in the new time energy to read one of Annie Senov's books. You can find it via Amazon, and she's actually written these books while being in the new time energy with a new aura. So that's interesting.
So it's written in a totally different way.
Yeah, new perspective.
Yeah, new perspective. And I meet a lot of people who after an AuraTransformation, or just before, they go to bookshops and they're like, oh, there's nothing here for me. I'm done with that level.
Yeah.
Or I'm done with this information because now I am in it. And that can be a problem, of course, because suddenly, it's like, I'm looking for something to read, but there's nothing.
I've had a lot of clients, people coming from California, flying to Copenhagen to have a treatment, and they say, why isn't anyone talking about this in the old, from the other perspective? Because it's still brand new. Even if AuraTransformation has been around since '96, even, it's new to them. It's new information, and you could say that a lot of the old time people, they're still talking about light energy, that you heal with light, and what we're talking about is that you have to unite the body and the spirit, and we have to stay in the body, because if we don't, we're going to just go somewhere else and we're not going to be able to do our dharma. But if we heal with both light and darkness, a lot of people consider darkness as like the dark side, the bad side. I've seen so much light that has been really bad, that is not really good, and I've seen dark side that is bad, that's really not good. So you can't say that evil is dark and good is light. I mean, even if you look at Snow White, the evil witch is going to be dark. I mean, we've been fed with this information that light is good and darkness is bad. But
whereas
really,
two forces that are fighting each other, but actually into the new time, they are joining. They are joining forces, you could say.
And if we look at the higher perspective on this, there's never been a battle. The battle has always been on Earth. But these two forces have always been working together, but not really all the time through the people who are on the Earth, incarnated. But we have to unite the body and the spirit, and if you get enlightened, if you say so, at some point you're going to lose your body. We're all going to lose our body at some point, but in this lifetime, because the body can't handle too much light. Too much light energy is going to actually dissolve the body.
Because the body is dark, it's more
matter, heavy matter.
So people who are really working with the light energy, especially now, because there's so much light now coming into Earth, then they are disappearing in the end. I mean, if you know some people who are working with the light a lot, sometimes it's kind of like they get see-through. Yeah. At some point,
they get very transparent.
Yeah.
But
with AuraTransformation, you really work with the balance energy with dark and light. Yeah. So that's the big difference.
The funny thing is that if you treat one of these people, they have an AuraTransformation, it's going to only take a few hours or a few days, then they're going to become more visible again, because all of a sudden there's a field, you could call it a force field, but it's a field around the body that makes you, it enables you to actually stay in your own energy. And actually the body is like a battery. Yeah. The body is like a battery. And I mean, it's so simple, anyone can understand it. If you have a battery that you can charge, if you dismantle the battery, you remove some of the protection around it, you're not going to be able to reload it, to charge it anymore. And once the old aura structure is being dissolved, you cannot reload, you cannot reboot the body anymore. So the body's going to become weak, and the energy level is going to drop. So a few people get extremely sensitive for other people's energy, and they get tired a lot, they need a lot of sleep. I think I was up to 14-16 hours per day. Wow. And I didn't know what was going on. I was all the time I was tired, but I wasn't sick. Yeah, I was just tired.
I was the other way. I didn't sleep at all, but I was so sensitive as well, and it was all the light just beaming. And the funny thing is that when people start to get sensitive in this way, they open up to their higher selves. They start feeling, other parts of where their energy is, and also what's happening to it. it becomes really something with sensing all that. And I remember back before my AuraTransformation, when I would be together with other people, especially, you know, if people would do a gathering and let's meditate together or something like that, it was just the worst. So I would go very, very far around things like that. Until I got more transformation.
Get very stressed about it, yeah.
Until I got more transformation, and then I understood actually what was happening, and then we're coming back to this guru
energy,
energy again.
But let's just finish off and say that we strongly recommend you who think that you might be interested to read some books about this, about Annie Senof's work, and
look up Annie Senof.
Yeah,
look at the book, especially the balance on all levels.
Yeah, really good.
With the crystal and indigo
information
energies.
And also we travel all around, and I would never go and tell anyone have an aura transformation. I would ask them to feel, is this something for you? And my Dharma and Berit's Dharma, it's not about saying to someone you should have this treatment, you should do this. The thing is, we want to spread the information because it's helped us a lot, and
this is here to help people. It's not here to not help or do something bad or whatever. This is something that has actually helped a lot of people, and it might be able to help you too, or it might not. But you have to sense if it feels right. You have to read more about it, figure more out about it, and then take the decision from that.
We could really also finish off saying this is not a new thing. It's been around since '96, and in Scandinavia, more than 75,000 people have had an aura transformation. So there's a lot of information, but most of it hasn't been available in English before. So you could go
We're doing our best now with
we're doing our best to spread the word. You go to one of our websites that will be available via the information about this movie. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much.